John Downs got into farming hemp because of how much cannabis helped his ADHD and depression. He currently has several small grow houses in Upson County, Georgia, and calls his farm Southern Expressions. He says it's a scaled-back operation.
It's been a tight struggle, and it's been tight on any and every farmer that has played with this year. You have to be passionate about it to be in it.
When Georgia farmers first started hearing about hemp in 2018, when it was federally legalized, it was all about producing CBD. But almost overnight, another industry emerged: hemp-derived THC products. THC is the main psychoactive ingredient in regular marijuana. And because of this market shift, retailers were also left reeling, especially after the effects of hemp-derived THC were exacerbated by other synthetic hemp-derived compounds.
Look, quite frankly, synthetic cannabinoids, the proliferation of synthetic cannabinoids have done two things. It's helped more people get used to our industry, but it's also hurt the natural product industry. We're seeing that with psilocybin, and we're seeing that with kratom as well. But state by state, you're starting to see the Delta-8, Delta THCP, HHC, these things are starting to be regulated.
Last year, Georgia lawmakers like Senator Kay Kirkpatrick introduced Senate Bill 33. It would limit the potency of all intoxicating cannabinoids in a product to 0.3%, including hemp-derived THC.
These cannabinoids appear in trace amounts in the plant, and they're then enhanced with various chemicals to increase their strength. The products may be contaminated with industrial solvents, heavy metals, and other contaminants. This is a health risk, and the FDA has written a number of warning letters due to adverse events resulting in emergency treatment, including right here in Georgia.
That legislation did not pass during the last session, but a blow was still dealt to Georgia hemp farmers through legislation that was passed and then implemented last October. Raw hemp flower sales in Georgia were banned. Because so many processors out west started producing hemp-derived THC products before processors in Georgia, retailers could get those products faster and cheaper. Many Georgia hemp farmers found that the only profitable way to sell their crops in state was in raw flower form because it didn't require months at the processor or any processing costs.
What that used to entail was if the state came out, took their cut, they sent it off to the lab. If my flower was approved at that point, as a farmer, I was able to make the decision, okay, I can sell this to another farmer and he can wrap it up in his batch. I can send it to a processor, or if I want to be proactive, I can go out and broker my own. At this point now, again, it all has to go to a processor. The way that new October laws are written, we are not capable of brokering our own flour, so there's no real outlet. So there are licensed processors, but actual people who are set up to run, as far as I'm really aware, truthfully set up to make product, there's one.
Without an outlet, farmers are left wondering if they can get processing licenses themselves to create a legal hemp pre-roll, once again, cutting out processor wait times and fees, and having an outlet for their raw flour. Pre-rolls are flour that have been broken down and rolled up in paper, making them technically processed when compared to a raw whole flour. They're just not chemically altered.
So we do not know what move to make.
Downs hopes that state leaders will consider relinquishing the state hemp program to the federal government so that Georgia can play by the same rules as most other states, or explore other ways that the hemp plant can be beneficial to Georgia's economy.
We are huge here in Georgia, especially North Georgia, in the flooring industry and all that. Why are we not trying to build relationships with them and start moving on a fiber sector of this? Why don't we switch gears as a state in general if you don't like this because of that right there? They've got to make a choice, because it's just taking us further down in a hole every day that they don't make one of those choices.
The United States Senate recently approved the 2026 Agriculture, Rural Development, Food and Drug Administration, and Related Agencies Appropriations Act. That act would, quote, close the hemp loophole that's resulted in the proliferation of unregulated intoxicating hemp products being sold across the country, end quote. The act will now move to the U.S. House, and then if the House passes it, it would be sent to the President. We have the full copy of the act on WALB.com.